take a straight and stronger course to the corner of your life. Make the White Queen run so fast, she hasn't got time to make you wife. Cause it's time in time with your time, and this news is captured for the Queen to use. Move me on to any black square.
Good morning, people. All right, I think I got the one stream going. See if I got the other one going now. Sorry, you guys. It's always got to be difficult, right? It can never just be easy. The whole reason I'm even doing the stream is because the URL for the podcast is going to change. So if you're currently subscribed to what was the Turn Leftist podcast, is now the True Crimes of the Empire podcast stream, which we mostly just use for these live streaming purposes. Yeah, you'll just have to resubscribe to this different URL, which will be in the description of this episode. So if you're hearing this on SoundCloud, please just go into the description and subscribe to that URL in whatever podcast app you're using. If you'd like to continue, hearing the live streams as they come out, not the most frequent things, of course, but from time to time, this is what we do. There's been some couple current event streams with Jared and Joseph and I. Anyway, I'm just going to come on here and scroll some Twitter for a little bit and see what's going on. Someone says, living in New York City is kind of like reading David Graeber's Bullshit Jobs, in that every couple of days you'll run into someone who says something like, I work in marketing, or I'm a financial consultant. Yeah. A lot of fake lanyard jobs. PMC, professional managerial class, not private military contractor. Somebody says, Ayatollah and Pope uniting against Epstein class wasn't on my 2026 bingo card. This is another thing I think is really funny, you guys. Like, what's everyone's take on this whole purported alliance of like the Catholics and the Muslims against the Epstein class or whatever? Are you guys buying this? Because in my experience, I haven't exactly seen the Catholics be the most staunch opponents to pedophiles, if you know what I mean. Like, are we just like already forgetting about that whole scandal that happened a few years, like not that long ago? I think it was pretty bad. I think it's probably not worth, not something we want to forget, not like something we want to just like overlook and brush under the rug, like they did. It's probably not good to do that. I don't know. I just don't really, I don't buy it. I don't really buy that like the Pope is that much against the Epstein class being part of that structure of power, which is another part of the Epstein class. Like, I did enough reading through of the Gladio book here. People should be familiar with the Vatican's stance on communism, leftism in general, what they stand for, organizationally. In the way that all cops are bad cops. Not to say that the Pope is the worst Pope we've ever had in our lifetimes. There was a pretty bad. I got a fucking gnat in here. Sorry. Trump says, I'm going to destroy an entire civilization. The Pope, blessed are the peacemakers. War is bad and should stop. Trump, I'm Jesus. The New York Times. It's an odd conflict. This is a quote from the New York Times. It's an odd conflict. The people in these two roles have generally treated each other with deference, or pretended to. What gives? Yeah, that's how it works. Somebody says, no, sorry, we're going to have to do Reconstruction 2. And they're responding to someone who says, there was lots of dumb shit during Woke 1.0, but this was basically right. And it's a graphic with a possum on there and some cornbread, and it says, ignoring and writing off southern states is unsalvageable due to regressive policies. Does nothing to help those fighting against such policies, and only aids further regression. Your neighborhood isn't better because it has brick oven pizzas and craft breweries. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've been seeing this since I got into this stuff. I made a meme page in 2018, and I was already considering myself like an ANCOM kind of leftist by that point, and I became more of a tanky with time. I've been seeing people say this for as long as I've been interested in leftism, that, we can't write off the working class people in the southern states. We can't write off conservatives. MAGA communists and ACP are saying this a lot now. I am not seeing a lot of converts. I don't know what you guys are seeing, but I am not seeing a lot of converts to communism or socialism from the conservative crowd. I'm not even seeing a lot of them from the liberal crowd. I'm not seeing many converts to actual Marxism anywhere in the West. I'm seeing a lot of people who are going from, I'm opposed to the government giving out free stuff to those people who don't look like me, to, okay, now I'm okay with the government giving free stuff to me and those people who don't look like me. And that's about the most leftward movement you get from people in the US. That's what I have witnessed personally. Like witnessed people go from maybe conservative or neoliberal sometimes when they're young to like a lefty, meaning they would accept more free stuff from the government if it were offered to them. And they will vote for people who promise that and then don't deliver on it. But they're not talking about like opposing imperialism in any meaningful way. They're not talking about like building vanguard parties. They're not even talking about supporting existing socialist and anti-imperialist countries. They're just talking about, yeah, I'm cool with some ideas that I think are leftist, which I wasn't cool with before. But I'm still going to vote for genociders, red or blue. I don't even know who these people are. It's funny. I'll show my ass on here. I don't care. It says the left according to Japan, and it's like 5 dudes. I don't recognize any of them. Maybe somebody in the chat will help me out. I'll save that one for later and I'll ask. These, quote, the liberal international order is an unalloyed good, guys. Sure went quiet in 2023. I wonder what happened. And this is from Gravity's Rainbow on April 5th of 2023, saying, because the liberal international order is an unalloyed good that has prevented horrors in the world, and attempts to dismantle it as a hegemonic device will only serve to bolster claims to the use of war as a legitimate force in international affairs. So obviously, this is someone who's like upset about Russia, thinks that like Russia's invasion of Ukraine is the most imperialist thing that has ever happened in our lifetimes, and is so worried about the egregious violations of international law. And all of these people voted for Biden and Kamala Harris and just totally overlooked the genocide in Gaza. Why should a sovereign nation seek the permission of another sovereign nation nearly or roughly 13,000 kilometers away for oil that it needs for its population? It is insanity. This is why Iran's push for a multipolar world order deserves all the support. Yeah. And this is in response to Al Jazeera English saying the Philippines says it is seeking U.S. permission to buy more Russian crude as the import-dependent country scrambles to shore up scarce fuel supplies. Yeah. Why does the Philippines need U.S. approval to buy more Russian oil amid a fuel crisis? Doesn't make much sense to me, but I don't know you guys. Let me check the chat, see if anybody's joining here today. I hope the stream is working. Ballstick asks, good morning, bro. It says, why is the screen compressed? I'll fix it. Hold on. Give me a second here. It's because I don't know how to use OBS well enough. That's my fault. All right, let's see if this is any better. Yeah, I don't care if you guys see my bookmarks. It's all Minecraft stuff. It's fine. That should be better now, I hope. Let me go check the Instagram chat. Sorry, you guys. Dentist for Teeth says, do you stream anywhere else? I hate to stay on Instagram. It's on the YouTube channel. If you go to youtube.com/@TCOTE pod, that's for True Crimes of the Empire, so TCOTE pod. You should find our YouTube channel, and I'm also live there. So yeah. Okay, good. Thank you. So yeah, that should fix the compression issues. All right, let me get back to Twitter and see what else is going on in the world. I had talked yesterday. That was the bad part yesterday. My stream didn't record. It didn't like save to Instagram, so I couldn't publish it anywhere. So there's actually only 2 days left of the SoundCloud subscription. So there's going to be they wanted to charge me like $140 for a year subscription to SoundCloud just to publish the podcast, which I already can do on Patreon for free. So that's the reason for the URL change. So again, the whole purpose for this stream is just to let people on the SoundCloud feed know to please go into the episode description of this episode, click on the link there for the new RSS feed for the podcast if you want to continue to hear streams when they come out, whenever they come out. So, because I don't really feel like spending that kind of money to pay SoundCloud. Anyway, so let's get back to Twitter here. Turns out that the AFRICOM trained Traore is secretly allied with Israel. His government's affinities with Zionism were already clear, but it's good to get real info. So much for the new Sankara. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Let's see. This is from African Intelligence. They say the junta leader Ibrahim Traore, who maintains a staunchly anti-Western stance and flaunts his closer ties with Tehran, simultaneously means discreet links with Tel Aviv. What are the links? What are they doing? If this is just some bullshit, like he sells them some weapons like China does, like trade is not imperialism. Let's see. Oh, subscriber only article. It's paywalled. Well, if anybody wants to pay for it, let me know what this uh, piece on Traore says. This is a different Hassan, not Hassan Piker, but responding to this was a take from Hassan Piker, where he was saying to some lib politician or lib pundit saying like, "I would vote for Hamas over Israel, but I draw the line at voting for Gavin Newsom." They're like paraphrasing his quote, but like then people respond to it with the Chad thing. I think like if Hassan says something good, I will publicize it. Like I will repost it because I'll give him credit where credit is due. I just don't like that Hassan eventually um, leads people back to the Democrats. That's what he does. He just sheepdogs people back to Democrats, unfortunately, and I don't like that. So, happy Holocaust Remembrance Day from Holocaust Memorial Board member Siggy Flicker. What is all this? I don't know. I do get a lot of random stuff suggested here. Let's see what this is. Siggy Flicker says, "Get the fuck out of here. Who would ever sell their soul and accept a payout from this human garbage that is a cancer to the entire world? The most evil, demented ideology on earth." Oh, they're talking about Islam. So we got an Islamophobe here. They say even the Pope accepted radical Islam payout. I'm sure he did. Hilarious. Oof. Yeah, just some really virulent anti-Muslim shit. Cool, cool. Avraham Stern of the pre-Israel Jewish militia Lehi or Stern Gang wanted to recruit Nazis to help with the Zionist project because, quote, Nazis want to cleanse Europe of Jews. Nothing is simpler than transferring them to their own state. Yeah, I mean, people don't really like to talk about the fact that all of the anti-Semitic Westerners, all of the anti-Semitic West, basically, but including Nazi Germany, aligned with Israel on the idea of sending all the Jewish people to the Middle East because they didn't want them in Europe. They didn't like them. They didn't want them around them. And they said, well, this actually kills two birds with one stone. We can get rid of some of the people in the Middle East that we already don't like. We can ethnically cleanse and colonize that land. And then we can send these other people that we don't want in our homeland to that. It's crazy. It's just fascist all around. It's all like it's like that fascist, like, or that, what's the meme of all the swords on the, like around a table? It's like all fascist of different stripes. Zionists, Nazis, American conservatives, and evangelicals. Capitalists will deny workers are exploited under capitalism in one breath, then brag about how they escaped their own exploitation by opening a business in the next. The only path to freedom under capitalism is the enslavement of another. Yeah. I always love how they also complain about it the whole time. You never hear a business owner who's like, yeah, it's actually super easy to own a business. They always have to pretend that they are like the hardest working person in the world so that they can justify the exploitation that they, making money off of other people. Oh no, what happened here? Oh, I switched to the wrong window, that's why. My bad, you guys. Let me switch back to Instagram. Oh, I appreciate that. That dentist for teeth. Sorry. It really should be on the. Oh, I see. So it's not. It's not actually going on the YouTube, of course. It's not doing that because I selected like the wrong keyframe frequency. How dare I? I'm obviously such a fucking moron for selecting the wrong keyframe frequency. How could I be such an idiot, man? All right, well, I can just close that tab then. But I appreciate the sub. All right, I'll just go for a couple more minutes here. Just again, like I said, checking the headlines. We got a picture of Maduro here. Where's my window? So this on April 13th, 2002, the hero Nicolas Maduro, together with Celia Flores, moved heaven and earth so that President Chavez could return. This hero and his wife need to be freed. Yeah, I do wonder what they're going to do with Maduro. I had heard rumors that they had already killed him, but then it seems like he's in court, so. Hilarious. I better not be following this person. Yeah, of course not. Anybody, like, I love when I get suggested stuff to me in my feed, like leftcom or like liberal bullshit. Somebody's like, China's imperialism rises, the USA's imperialism declines. It's like, okay. The imperialism of China with no military bases anywhere. Would have the one in Djibouti. Anyone noticing that patients are all out here describing all the social contortions they take on to try not to piss off doctors, and doctors are just respond with, quote, yeah, well, you don't get it. You aren't as educated as me. I'm a good person. You don't know what a pain patients are. I've not been seeing that, but I don't think I follow enough disabled people or disability activists on Twitter to see it. I'm mostly following the multipolarity and geopolitical crowd. Steven Semler on Twitter says, budgets are moral documents. And this is a graph showing U.S. budgets less for improving lives, more for ending them. Discretionary spending by function, constant $2026. War, $1.5 trillion. Public investment, $432.3 billion. And they're just arrows pointing in polar opposite directions, trending even further in that discrepancy. This sadism is a stain on all of humanity, and we can't move forward as a species while it exists. The Israeli occupation dropped leaflets today over Gaza City, delivering the message, quote, "We will be having coffee on your beach soon." Yeah. Just the most despicable people. Why is capitalist architecture so depressing? This is from Pavel Vargan. It's responding to, in the 1970s, much of downtown Houston was little more than service parking. And it's crazy. Like, it's the whole city. It's just all parking lots with a couple buildings and a few skyscrapers on the one edge. It's wild. Many of the world's most important sources of underground fresh water took millions of years to form and could now require thousands of years to refill, as the water mined from them largely ends up in the rising oceans. Oh yeah, so they get saltified, or what do you call it? I guess salinized. If you desalinize it, then they're getting salinized. A lot of people talk about the Phoenix program as if it was the first time this was done, ignoring America's counterinsurgency operations in the Philippines, which involved murder of prisoners and civilians, rape, waterboarding, hanging, and all kinds of unimaginable torture. So they have this document here, American Atrocities in the Philippines, the Indictment and the Response, by Richard E. Welch Jr. The author is professor of history in Lafayette College. So I guess it's just the first page of this kind of document. It says, the Philippine-American War was 39 months old when on May 22nd, 1902, George Frisbee Hoar, Republican senator from Massachusetts, rose to address the U.S. Senate. His 3-hour speech bore the awkward title, quote, "The attempt to subjugate a people striving for freedom, not the American soldier responsible for cruelties in the Philippine Islands." This man in the speech typified the confused response of a dissenting minority of Americans who were convinced that their army was guilty of arson, pillage, and torture in the Philippines, but who were reluctant to castigate the uniformed soldier. It was the imperialists in Washington whom Hoar wished to indict with his bill of particulars. You have devastated provinces. You have slain uncounted thousands of peoples you desire to benefit. You have established reconcentration camps. You make the American flag, in the eyes of a numerous people, the emblem of a sacrilege in the Christian churches, and the burning of human dwellings, and of the horror of the water torture. So yeah, that obviously goes on much further, but yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Like, people who claim to know history, like all the history buffs in America that are like conservative leaning, it's like all they care about is war, and they always look at it from the aspect of like, oh, everything the U.S. did or any white colonizing power did was justified because the people got medicine or something afterwards, as if they couldn't have just like traded with those people and given them medicine without enslaving and raping a whole bunch of people in the process. And then like actual history, like people who actually study history honestly become Marxists. No business in America acts in good faith. Anytime you enter a sports stadium or airport or concert venue and you feel thirsty or hungry, you know they're about to price gouge you without even looking at the menu. Yeah, I mean, I just make it a practice to not eat at those places. I would rather just eat beforehand. I might get a drink, but again, I'd rather have gummies or something, just something like to not pay them. Man, they're really pushing this Traore loves Israel thing. Good luck with that. Good luck making him seem like an imperialist. I don't know. Nearly 40% of Americans said that they have less than $500 in cash savings per Fox 5. I guess you probably should not have ignored genocide. White people think Muslims react to bacon the same way they react to other cultures. Yeah, I had seen this tweet earlier. Why do white people think bacon is like a kryptonite to us, bruh? And it's Wall Street apes showing Americans are fighting back against the Muslim invasion any way they can. American says that the neighbors in his complex are roughly 98% Muslim. Since pork is explicitly forbidden, haram, in the Quran, he's cooking bacon and then using a fan to direct the smell into the hallway. Yeah, I don't understand why you guys think it really is like they think it's a kryptonite. Like, they'll probably just enjoy the smell of the bacon. Like, that's also funny too. Somebody's like, the same way accountability and empathy is kryptonite to them. And it's like, Jolly Mike says, there's no fucking way you of all people are talking. And these are people I'm sure who are like Zionists, like genocide supporters. So fun stuff. Yeah, I don't know much about the Islamic religion, but I just don't think it works that way. I don't think it actually like offends them to the point of like flipping out like white people flip out, like Karens flip out. Uh, hilarious. You Lightron X42 says I got the same map in my background. Yeah, it's the cheapest one I could find on Amazon that I could use as like a backdrop to not just have a blank wall behind me to be a little more interesting. Something at least a little geopolitical related, right? All right, you guys, how long have we been doing this? 20 minutes? All right, let me read a couple more tweets and then I will wrap it up here soon. Let's see. Somebody says, I wish our parents pushed financial literacy like they pushed religion. I mean, neither one's going to help you, to be honest. You cannot personal finance your way out of capitalism. Sorry. The rate of profit is declining whether you are great with money or not. You might be able to stick it out a little bit longer, but eventually the conditions are going to affect you. I love the idea of people like building up all these like fortress houses in the suburbs and everything. It's like, bro, do you think you're not going to get robbed eventually? You think you're not going to suffer the consequences of declining capitalism for everyone else around you? Even if you just somehow manage to maintain employment the whole time and avoid any kind of pitfalls that happen to people, like a health emergency or anything like that, that causes people to like fall down the social ladder, maybe your luck will hold out, but eventually it's that fucking Carl clip. He's like, you think you're going to live forever? You're going to get stabbed. You're going to get stabbed with a knife. Oh, I should just find the it's very funny. This is like I never even watched this show, but this was always just like a clip that I saw on that channel.
Physical fitness, whatever. You know, whatever. You do what you like to do, I do what I like to do, okay? But you're a sucker. You're getting fed this line about how, like, you're gonna live forever or whatever. You're gonna die. Someone will kill you. Someone will kill you with a knife. Make sure your abs are friggin' ripped. You got some good guns. You want to look good for when you get stabbed with a knife.
But yeah, that's my attitude toward all the preppers and the people who think they're going to avoid capitalism by being the best neoliberal subjects, making sure they're always updating their resume, always looking for other jobs. Yeah, somebody's going to rob you. Somebody who was not doing all those things and still wants to live is going to rob you. It's going to suck. Every Serb who screws over the Americans in any way is a hero. Hilarious. Let's see. Russia and China, poorer states, somehow build new power plants, trains, and subways. Quote, corruption, with ministers embezzling a few million from their debt from the department is common. That's rare in the U.S. outside of... Who is this person? Like, what? I better not be following this guy. Yeah. Who is this person that I'm following that reposted them? Oof. They're following me? Why are you reposting this idiot who's posting this shit? Oh my god. Hilarious. I'll have to block them. Not a good look. They got a sod in their profile. If you think Trump posting the picture of himself as Jesus was bad, wait until you hear about how he fucked kids. Yeah, very funny. This is also funny too. This is the Tim Pool tweet from the day that Charlie Kirk died. Source tells me Charlie is stable. Please God. Somebody goes, I want to know who his source was. It's like an itch I can't scratch. That's funny. Oh my God. Very funny stuff, folks. All right. Well, I'm going to, I think, wrap it up here for the day. I think it had some fun, but like I said, please just click the episode description, follow the URL in the description for your in your podcast app if you want to continue hearing these streams. Because again, if you're listening to this on SoundCloud from the old Turn Left This URL, it's going to change.
Send an instant comment to me.
Did you guys know this? Yes, Lenin split with the Bolsheviks and refused to create a mass party. He created an authoritarian system all by himself. How did he do that, guys? All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow.